Welcome to the Y Connect podcast. As the heartbeat of the community, the Y is a connector where people of all ages and walks of life come together to elevate their health, wellness, education, and essential life skills. Hear the stories of impact and join the authentic conversations where together we'll discover the journeys and pathways people take to connect through the Y. Now your hosts, Zarina, Robert, and Allison.
Hey, you all.
Greetings, everyone.
Hi. It's good to see you.
Always.
Absolutely.
And summer is crazy hot. Can we just say that
Yes.
right now? How hot is it? How hot is it?
You know, Allison, I can't complain, though, because I keep my heater on in my office all year round.
Keep your heater on?
Yes.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Oh.
Yeah, air conditioning overload. I was outside earlier eating lunch so I could warm up a little bit.
Oh, wow.
But then I quickly warmed up. But love our new tables outside. Serena, have you tried them outside with the
They're
umbrellas?
Beautiful. Yes. I love them.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
I look forward
Life's
to
little
having lunch
things
outside
sometimes.
over there.
Yes.
Yeah.
That invite to having lunch over there.
Yeah. Anytime, Robert. Anytime.
Well, let's go ahead and dive in. I'm excited about this one
All right.
because it's very dear to my heart.
Yeah.
You know, prior to my opportunity here at the Andrew and Walter Young Family YMCA as the Associate Executive Director, my life was wellness. Everything was about wellness, from teaching classes to being afforded the opportunity to be a wellness director at another branch at the East Lake Family YMCA. So the opportunity to promote this episode of Coach Approach, the opportunity to introduce Ms. Jennifer Rewkowski and Mr. Sam Holly, very dear to me because I've sat in the same chair as Sam has sat, and or is currently sitting, I should say. And Ms. Jennifer was part of my interview process at Eastlake. So
Yeah, I like it.
It definitely goes full circle. But again, before taking my role as the associate exec and spending so many years as a wellness coach and a wellness director, I know and appreciate the value of fitness and the impact that it has on one's health and well-being. At the Y, we understand that getting into a consistent habit of exercise isn't easy. I certainly had my journey and can definitely speak about my journey for hours. But today we're going to be talking about the program that we offer that helps individuals create a plan, one that they stick with, called Coach Approach. And joining us today are two of the Y leaders who are bringing this program to life throughout the Y communities. Ms. Jennifer Rewkowski has been with the YMCA of Metro Atlanta for 18 years, absolutely loves her job, working with the uniqueness of each of the Y's various communities. As VP of Community Health and Wellness, Jennifer supports Y branches in their health and wellness programming, as well as community partnerships and grants. She also provides leadership to our newest YMCA locations, YMCA of Morehouse School of Medicine and Y at Good Sam. In her free time, she enjoys spending time with her husband, well, I would say I had an opportunity to meet. He's another Long Island kid, just like me.
Nice.
I think we actually played football against each other, but that's a whole nother story.
Wow.
Watching their son play baseball and football, working out, DIY projects, and traveling. Sam Holly, who I definitely had the opportunity of meeting prior to my transition to my new position, wellness director at the McCleskey Family YMCA. Sam is the wellness director, again at the McCleskey East Cobb YMCA in Marietta. As a native Atlanta, he has 6 years of mental health and physical wellness experience. When he isn't working, he enjoys traveling, reading good books, taking a long walk, and spending time with family and friends. Welcome, both of you.
Yes. Welcome.
Thanks
Glad
so
to have
much.
you here.
Thank you.
So
Absolutely.
great to have you. Really
Yes.
appreciate it.
Sam and Jennifer, we're so glad to have you guys here on Why Connect today. We're going to start off with a question that I'm sure a lot of listeners may have. What is Coach Approach program exactly? And
That's a
Jennifer, if you can
great
answer
question,
that.
Zarina. So Coach Approach in its simplest form is really an exercise adherence program. Really, back in 2000, the Y of Metro Atlanta kind of started looking at what we like to call the churn. And, we wanted to know why members were leaving the Y. Why were they canceling their memberships? And what we came to realize was that it wasn't because we didn't have great equipment and fantastic facilities and amazing staff. It was really because members didn't know how to stick with an exercise program. So Coach Approach really tackles that exact problem. We work with members not only developing an exercise plan that they enjoy. So the no pain, no gain motto is not part of Coach Approach, but we also work with members. I know. Big round of applause, right? We also work with members on how to just navigate life and how to still get those exercise sessions in, even when life gets to be its craziest.
Wow.
You really set that up nicely, Jennifer. Yes. And it's that stickiness factor and the connection. So if someone is going into the wellness floor and they get intimidated by the machines, it's really hard for them to feel inclined to stick with something if they don't understand how to use them. So I'm going to ask Sam this question. Can you explain the typical structure of a coaching session? So like how frequently do participants meet with their coach and what kind of support are they receiving?
Yeah, so as far as the typical structure goes, we actually have two specific ways that we go about doing our Coach Approach appointments and our program in general. So the first portion would be the initial appointment, just to basically have a member come on in and get set up with a coach. Usually we'll have a health history form that we'll have them fill out just to get a sense of some of the health things that they may have or have not dealt with, especially relating to their primary care physician. And so we would go from there and we would have them just sign an informed consent form. And from there, we would actually have them go into our Active Links program. And so this is what allows us to conduct our Coach Approach program and our sessions. And so usually we'll do an assessment with them for their readiness level for Coach Approach. And we'll ask them a couple of questions as they're getting started. So we would ask them something along the lines of, if you are an exerciser, do you find yourself exercising 2 to 3 times per week? And if so, do you do that regularly for at least 6 months or longer? And so we usually use those two questions to really form a baseline on how ready they are for our Coach Approach program. And so if, say, they may answer yes to the initial question of just exercising for at least 2 to 3 days out of the week, then we'll say, okay, so you may have some work you may need to do on the consistency side. And so usually Coach Approach can really get to the level of where the member is coming to the YMCA with, and we're able to really partner with them to create a consistent program, especially starting out. I think it's very important for all of our members coming in to have someone that they can really bounce ideas off of, bounce their experiences off of, and also really just build a sense of compatibility and confidence with. And so once we're really able to assess kind of where they are going in, we can really develop a program that is tailor-made for things such as their interests. And from their previous experiences, maybe they say, okay, I really enjoy running and I really enjoy lifting weights, but I don't enjoy stretching. Well, we can work with you on all 3 of those things to build a well-rounded program for you. And so we just want to make sure that as we are going in, we dictate some of the things that they may have some skepticism about, or even some would say maybe frustrations or worries. And so we have a couple of surveys that we'll have them go through initially as they are going through the program and going through that initial session to really give us a picture of where they are and how they're feeling going into the experience. And we want to develop a program just related to their mindset. And we want to develop a specific SMART goal or goals with them. Usually we want to make sure that the goals that we are setting are a perfect match for their personal lives and for their personal goals that they have. And so we want to start off, of course, realistic. We definitely want to start off at a level that is going to be manageable for them as well. And so I know that a lot of us lately, especially, are living very, very busy lives. And we want to make sure that as we are developing programs for them, that we are also able to meet them where they are. So, for example, you may have someone that comes in for the first time and says, hey, I am really only able to meet with someone for about maybe 30 to 45 minutes while I'm here. I have to get in and out because I may have to get back to the office, or I have to tend to my family, my kids, and my coaches are able to be flexible with really working with them regarding the time that they have, and can really develop a program that is ultimately going to just really bring the best out of them, even if it's just for 30 minutes. So we do what we can. And usually when we have our programs set, we'll usually have a follow-up appointment after the initial session about 2 weeks later. And then from there, we will usually try to space things out a little bit. And so we may go to about 3 weeks between the next appointment. And then we may push it to about an average of once a month. So we want to still be able to keep in contact with the member. So usually I will check in, or my coaches will check in on their members. I would say we usually try to make it once a week just to see how they're doing. And if they have any questions about anything, or if they have just frustrations that they might be experiencing, or if they just may say, I don't know about this. I really need someone to come in and help me. And I am absolutely ready and willing to do whatever it is that we can to make sure that our members are feeling comfortable with their routine that we have collaborated with and created together. And so once we really have that routine down, it is just an amazing unfolding of just really unraveling a different person. And it's a really cool thing to experience now that they are just feeling well holistically through mind, body, and soul, but mainly just through the avenue of exercise. And it's just a really cool opportunity. So that's a little bit about what a session may tend to look like. And when it comes to just building that rapport with members, it's just very important to remain consistent. And that's exactly what we're trying to do here with our Coach Approach program.
I hear you saying that it's very personalized, which I love. Like that really drills down to the individual person. It's not a one size fits all. It's listening and then responding as a result of what you've heard. And that really speaks to the why and the ways in which, like this podcast says we're doing, we connect. It's all about making that connection. Thank you, Sam.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Jennifer, this question is for you. If you can please discuss how Coach Approach measures its success and effectiveness with each member.
Of course, Robert. So I kind of think about the success of Coach Approach on 3 different levels. Really big picture. I mean, the goal of Coach Approach is to build large-scale community health changes. So as we look around our branches, in our neighborhoods, in our counties, and across the state, ultimately, we know that exercise contributes to reduced rates of obesity, mental health, high blood pressure, diabetes, etc. So, as we see those rates of chronic conditions and other things starting to come down, that's a pretty powerful measure of the success of Coach Approach. The second level I kind of think of is the branch. 90% of new exercisers prefer to exercise in a group, which sounds crazy. But when I go into our group exercise classes and I see those classes filled with people, that's success. That's a new exercise that's within their why. And then, the personal level for the member, just feeling like they've figured out how to kind of accomplish this big, for some insurmountable, insurmountable goal. They're walking through the door of the Y 2 to 3 times per week, and they're getting on that treadmill, or they're going to that group exercise class. So I think there's lots of ways that we can measure it from the outside. Internally, we have lots of measures that we look at to make sure that our new members are getting into the coach approach, because we want to be able to offer this program to everybody. It is free with our membership, so we want to be sure that we can support all of our new members in the best way possible.
Absolutely.
Wow.
From my previous experience when I was conducting Coach Approach, I always felt that you wore many hats, and I'm sure, Sam, that you've sat in this chair and have had to consult. It's not only advocate for the program, but you literally become somewhat of a counselor to the members that you're speaking with, and it is very rewarding for us, and it's very empowering for the members. I used to love hearing their success stories of just the simple fact that you introduce them to a new machine, and how much joy they're getting from trying something different. They've hit a rut, and so now you've helped them just kind of get over that one hump. And and Jennifer, I want to ask you this as well. I know this is a little off script, but if you can help to explain the difference between coach approach and personal training, because this was also something that I often had to explain to people, like, this is not personal training. This is an opportunity to empower you. So at a certain point, you will be able to come into this gym and facilitate a complete workout on your own personal workout, and not feel as if somebody is barking orders to you.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right, Robert. So they're kind of two sides of the house, and really, the goal of Coach Approach not only is large scale community health change, as we've already shared, but it's really to develop the independent exerciser, right? The person who, to your earlier comment, can come into the Y, feel comfortable working on the equipment and doing what they need to do. Personal training certainly has its place for many in the Y. I will say that the coach approach is free and included in your membership. Personal training is an additional fee. So regardless of your financial status, we feel that everybody should be able to exercise and be successful at it. So it's really just a great program. I can't speak highly enough about it.
Wow. So Sam and Jennifer, with all the support that you guys are offering the members, could you share with us a success story or a testimonial from your participants?
Absolutely. I actually have one that has occurred about 2 weeks ago and is ongoing. So I actually had a mother and son that I saw personally about a month ago. And the mother just brought her son along because it was the summertime. He was away from summer camp at the time. And so he said, yeah, just come with me. So I'll have him off in the corner playing on his Switch, just kind of hanging out. And so I did the appointment with Mom. And it was a great session. She was an experienced exerciser herself, and she was really coming off of a period of really being inactive because of a very busy lifestyle. And she really needed someone to assist her with developing a routine. And so as we were going through each of the steps and just coordinating just a plan together and really getting a sense of what she liked and disliked, her son actually hopped in and started offering his own perspective of exercise and just his experiences with sports. And really, at the end of the session, her son and his mom, actually, they came together and said, you know what? I really think it's important for us to really get back in on this together. Would you want to do this plan with me, son? And son was like, absolutely. And so from there, I actually met back up with them about 2 weeks later. And it was a really cool experience because when I first saw mom and son, they were both beaming. And I was like, wow, you guys seem really happy. Tell me what's been going on. And son, bright-eyed, told me I wanted to work out every single day this month.
Nice.
Wow.
And so
Nice.
far, I have actually fulfilled about half of that goal. So I have actually exercised every day for the last 2 weeks. And me and my
that's
mom have
amazing.
worked out every other day together. And I'm actually at the point now where I'm actually conducting wellness orientations with the son, and I am actually creating a routine for him. And so he
that's
has
great.
ultimately just shown a whole different side that I would not have known when he first came in, which was a really cool experience. And not only our mother and son are doing this together, also the father is stepping in, and they're actually working out together now as a family.
Wow.
Excellent.
And so
Excellent.
Yeah.
his husband felt so inspired by his wife that he wanted to get in as well so that the whole family could participate. And so
It's
just
a
really cool
family affair.
Everyone involved.
Sorry.
The whole family now is exercising.
That's fabulous.
And now son is actually, he wants a whole, I'm talking 12-week routine. I said, okay, well, let's 3 weeks, we can definitely build a program from there, but it was just an incredible experience because it was just going to be an initial coach approach appointment with me and his mother. And that was it. And it blossomed into an entire family opportunity towards just building a healthier lifestyle. So it was great.
Oh, that's great.
Kudos.
That's absolutely great.
Kudos to you, Sam.
job.
You inspired them.
Yes.
That's fantastic. So on the flip side, let's say I'm a new member, but I'm skeptical. And I'm sure you come across individuals who are just not inclined to participate because they think, I got this, it's all good. I'd love to know, what are some ways that you and other wellness coaches try to persuade our families and our individuals to try the 6 1-hour sessions out?
Absolutely. And so there are definitely different members that come in with different experiences and different thought patterns. And, most of the time I have found that members, they may be experienced exercises and they may feel like, oh, I don't need this. And I say, okay, well, I'll mention to them how the coaches really provide amazing assistance when it comes to just adding in something new to your exercise routine. And they can also be an additional person to hold you accountable for the things that you are doing. Because as we all know, we all can benefit from having someone in our corner who is really helping keep us accountable when it comes to trying to reach our own goals. Right. And I have someone in my own life, just a friend of mine, who actually keeps me accountable when it comes to working out and being healthy myself. Because sometimes I can, sometimes be undone sometimes by a lot of work, and I may not feel like working out at the time. I may feel like, I'll work out maybe tomorrow, something like that. But ultimately, my friend will step in my corner or send me a text and say, hey, your health is important. Be sure that you take the time, no matter what it is, do something. And that is what the coach does. That's what the coach can do for that person. Even if they may feel like, oh, I'm too experienced, I don't need this coach approach. Well, we all benefit from something. We may also have members who may have a you get what you pay for type of mindset. So they may say, oh, it's free. Well, I don't know about that. You don't have to pay anything. Really, that experience.
Is it worth it? Yeah, right.
Is it really worth it? Are they certified personal trainers? Or they're not trainers? I don't know about this. Well, I can definitely say with confidence that whether they have a personal training certification or not, the people that we hire for Coach Approach, our coaches are experienced enough to where they will be able to help you with any type of workout that you are trying to get in, whatever routine you're trying to build, whatever it is that you need regarding exercise, regarding stretching, cardio, strength training, they will be able to help you. And then
great.
another member that I have come across actually recently, some members were saying they're way too busy. So I don't really have the time. I'm just, just too bogged down with work right now. I have a lot going on. So I don't think y'all really even have time for something like this. Well, they are in luck because, as I mentioned earlier, no matter what, we'll find time with you, and we will definitely be able to collaborate, even if it's just for a short period of time, to create something for you. And we can follow up the next week. We can continue to build from there. But there is always going to be a time when we can meet with you, even if you just have a little bit of time. And
Absolutely.
I've also experienced some members that may have felt a little bit embarrassed by having a coach because they actually used to be in great shape and they used to amazing track runners, or they were basketball stars, and whatever they may have gone through in life has kind of brought them to a point where they may feel like they're on the opposite end of that spectrum, and they're just trying to get back into just kind of doing something for a daily routine for exercise. And this is where I'll come in and say, number one, there is no judgment. There is, your feelings are, I would say valid, but at the same time, you don't need to hold on to those feelings. We're going to come in here and have you dissuade those feelings, and we're going to help you to become just the best version of yourself. So no matter what, we're going to support them, and we're going to really bring them to a space where they're really going to start just becoming a new person. And so just really feeling better. And, of course, with feeling better comes a whole host of other things, a change in mindset, a change in just really experiencing less stress levels, etc. So those are just a few of the things that I've experienced from my time, and really just how I like to help those members with even guiding them towards coach approach from there, even if they feel like it might not work for them.
You addressed every area I was about to throw at you, and especially the last area. I would imagine that most people there's a sense of intimidation, and you addressed that. So I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that.
I love the fact that he honed in on the fact that it's a life-changing life skill. It's not a just come in, just work out. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's building better habits and building those life habits. Jennifer, for those members that have completed the coach approach sessions, what other options, what additional personalized opportunities do they have? What other options do they have after they completed coach approach?
Yeah, well, the why's got lots. Ultimately, when somebody starts the coach approach, the goal is behavior change. And so we really want to focus on the member just walking through the doors on a regular basis. Once they start to build that habit, then we start to shift our focus to maybe physiological changes. So, the reduction in weight or body composition or different physiological measures like that. So again, personal training, we've got also advanced group exercise classes. So we kind of give them the base to go and do what they want to do once they've got the habit.
Nice.
I like that. I have a friend who a former work colleague who has been a member at the Fowler Y for many years. And he went through the weight loss for life approach program, which is what you were speaking about in terms of the physiological. He's lost over 100 pounds through the Y.
Oh, wow.
True success story.
Amazing.
Absolute success story. And credits the coach who leads the class. And he's become a board member at the Fowler Y now because he's an evangelist for our association. So, and I'll just give a little shout out to my friend, Jim. Hope you're listening.
Oh my goodness. I tell you, this has been a great episode, and I've learned so much more about Coach Approach, and I'm sure our listeners have too. Now, as we're bringing that episode to a close, Jennifer and Sam, we would like to hear about your pathway to the why story. If you can share with us how you got connected to the why.
Oh gosh. Well, I guess mine started in grad school. I had the option of doing either a thesis or an internship. And so my local Y back in Wichita, Kansas, had an opening. So I actually started my Y journey as a wellness director at the Wichita YMCA, and was at a training here in Atlanta and learned about this program called the Coach Approach that we were getting ready to pilot. And so I had an interview while I was here, and kind of the rest is history. I was moving to Atlanta. So my Y story is a little bit different. I didn't learn to swim at the Y. I didn't grow up at the Y as a kid, although my child is growing up a Y kid. But yeah, it's been a journey, one that I've loved.
Excellent.
And you're tremendous. You guys, Jennifer is everywhere. So I just need to put a plug in for her. The amount of the spinning of the plates that she does in her role is tremendous. Yeah. Not only does she create personalized videos on a weekly basis for us, for Y members through our newsletter, but also she has done so much work behind the scenes with our Y360, which is our virtual Y, and created an enormous amount of content for that. And then she oversees the wellness cabinet and community partnerships that have to do with wellness. Wow. And like we said earlier, Morehouse School of Medicine and Good Sam. I mean, you're everywhere, Jennifer. Truly. Awesome.
We do what we love, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think
Sam,
for
how about your
myself,
story?
for myself, it's kind of interesting. So I've always had a passion for health and wellness. My parents actually instilled that in me at a very, very young age. And so growing up, especially when I was in high school, I really enjoyed, just weight training classes and running and things of that nature. And so I would always find myself just hanging out with my friends in high school and college, etc. And it actually wasn't until 2021. I was actually working remotely at the time. Of course, we were all still pretty much shut down for the most part during COVID. And I had an opportunity to really sit and think, like most of us, just regarding the things that we really valued and what was really important to us. And I was actually looking at making a career transition myself. And so I said, okay, so there are openings here at the YMCA. Let me check this out. I'm seeing wellness coaching roles here. This looks like this is right up my alley. And so I applied to a couple of YMCAs, but the one that I got an interview at was the G. Cecil Pruitt YMCA. And that was up in Canton, Georgia. And so had a fantastic interview with the wellness director there, Chris. He's now currently in Colorado. He's actually the wellness director at the Colorado Springs YMCA there. So shout out to you, Chris. Without you, I literally would not even be here right now. So thank you. And I had a great interview with him. He hired me, and I started off as a wellness coach. And this was February of 2021. And so I was there. Of course, the population was, it was a little bit sparse as far as just attendance, because, a lot of us were still, pretty cautious. But the people that I was able to really build relationships with and start on this wellness coaching journey with, it definitely gave me a lot of confidence. And so, ironically, it was about 6 months in, and I actually had to end up resigning from the position because my full-time job told us, okay, COVID restrictions have kind of lifted for us just a little bit. So it's time for us to come back in the building. I'm like, okay, well, that's going to put a damper on things because I was working in West Atlanta at the time. So, well, that's not.
That's okay.
So I ended up
Yeah.
It's definitely a commute. So I ended up working for about another year. I was actually working in education at the time. So I was using my counseling background. I was working in the realm of social and emotional learning with elementary school students. And so that was a cool opportunity. But my yearning ultimately was really to get back to the why, because I enjoyed my experience so much. I had initially only been there for about 6 months. And so I took a leap of faith pretty much when the school year was almost over. I went ahead and I applied to a couple of different YMCAs at the time. And I said, okay, this is really what I want to do. I'm going to dedicate my time to this. So I ended up getting a couple of positions at the Fowler YMCA and at the McCleskey YMCA. I was the wellness coach there. And I just had an opportunity to just continue building my experience. And ultimately, my experience gave me an opportunity to move up to where I am now as a wellness director.
Nice.
And so I'm actually coming up on a year as wellness director at McCleskey Y next Saturday. Yeah, we'll make 1 year.
All right.
Nice.
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 Where I am right now. So yeah, it's a little bit about
Fantastic.
Excellent.
Oh, well, we are lucky to have you. A loss to the education world, but certainly a gain to Y communities everywhere. So thank you. Thank you. We so appreciate you all spending so much time with us and sharing the story of the Coach Approach program and all the amazing things that we're doing with our members across Metro Atlanta. Thank you.
Absolutely. Job well done, and keep it going. Keep it going.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you for listening to the Y Podcast. To continue the conversation or to find your closest Y, please connect with us at ymcaatlanta.org and sign up for our newsletter, Healthy Together.